Welcome back to the deep dive. So let's talk about a situation that I think a lot of you know all too well. You've been studying English for months, maybe even years.
For a long time, yeah.
Right. You can read pretty complicated articles. You can listen to us right now without subtitles. You get it. But then the moment someone asks you a question,
You freeze.
you freeze. Your mind just goes completely blank, and the words, even though you know them, they just won't come out.
That specific gap, that disconnect between knowing a lot and being able to use it is incredibly frustrating. And it's probably one of the most common issues that even advanced learners face.
So this deep dive is really for you. For the person who has all that knowledge locked away, but just can't seem to find the key when it's time to speak.
And we're not pulling from grammar textbooks today. That's a key point.
No, absolutely not. We're exploring a methodology from our sources that honestly completely flips the script on how we think about language learning. It argues the struggle isn't a lack of vocabulary.
Not at all.
It's two things, fear and these really bad habits we all have.
Our mission today is to untack that, to turn those insights into, actual steps you can take day to day. We want to help you move English from being a subject you study.
Like it's math or history.
Exactly. To a language you actually live.
Okay, so let's jump right into that big idea. I mean, think about it for a second. How did you learn your very first language? You didn't start with grammar charts, did you? You didn't memorize verb conjugations as a toddler.
Of course not. It sounds ridiculous when you say it like that. We learned by just being surrounded by it, by listening, by copying sounds, by making tons of mistakes.
Hilarious mistakes, probably.
Spectacular mistakes. And the source material argues that the fastest way to fluency is to go back to that. Go back to that natural, error-filled, listening-first process.
So we have to forget this academic idea of perfection and
Yeah.
just embrace messy, immediate use.
That's it. Success starts way before you even open your mouth. It starts with your mindset.
Right. The sources identify the biggest, most stubborn barrier not as knowledge, but as fear.
Yes. It's the fear of making a mistake, the fear of sounding stupid, the fear of being judged.
That fear is what makes you hesitate.
And hesitation is what causes the freeze. It's a chain reaction.
So if the problem is psychological, then the solution has to be psychological too. We have to change the mindset.
We do. If you walk around all day thinking English is so hard or my English is terrible, then your brain will actually resist learning. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
But if you flip that,
If you force yourself to believe, you know what, English is easy, I can do this, then your brain becomes much more open, much more receptive to the challenge.
okay, but I have to push back a little there because for some people, grammar is hard. I mean, objectively. Isn't telling someone that, I don't know, the past perfect subjunctive is easy,
Yeah,
isn't that a bit dismissive?
that's a fair point. But it's not about the intellectual difficulty. It's about the emotional approach. The goal is to lower the barrier to just trying. Think about the analogy the sources use. The baby learning to walk.
They fall down.
Yeah,
A lot.
constantly. But do they stop and think, well, walking is too grammatically complex for me?
Ha, no, they just get back up.
They get back up and try again and again. Mistakes aren't just okay. They're a mandatory part of learning. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying. You're not actually speaking.
That completely reframes what an error is. It's not failure, it's data, it's practice.
It's proof that you're in the game.
So how does someone listening right now turn that into an action? How do you beat that fear tomorrow morning?
You adopt a new mantra. The sources are very clear on this. Banish negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Never ever say or even think, my English is bad.
So what do you replace it with?
You actively tell yourself, English is easy. I can speak English. I'm improving every single day. You say it, you think it, you write it down.
And that actually works. It's not just wishful thinking.
It's about reprogramming your brain. The more you repeat it, the more your subconscious starts to believe it.
Right.
And that dramatically lowers that fear response when you're in a real conversation.
Okay, so once you start to chip away at that fear, the next step from the sources is it's really practical. It's about your environment.
Right, this idea that you have to pack your bags and move to an English-speaking country to become fluent
Which is just not true.
is completely unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
You can and you must create your own little English world right where you are.
So let's get into that. Step 2 is surrounding yourself with English. And it starts with something so simple, your phone.
Change your phone's language to English
Mm.
right now. It sounds trivial, But think about how many times a day you look at that screen.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. And suddenly you're seeing English words constantly, settings, notifications, everything. Your brain just gets comfortable with it. It normalizes the language.
And that leads right into breaking what the sources call the absolute worst habit of all.
Translation.
The mental traffic jam.
It's the killer of fluency. Thinking in your native language, mentally translating it, and then trying to speak. It's slow, it's exhausting, and it sounds unnatural.
So the goal is to just bypass that whole process. To think directly in English, how does a beginner even start doing that?
You start incredibly small, with your immediate surroundings. When you wake up, you don't think about a complex idea. You just narrate your own actions internally.
So as I'm making breakfast,
You think, I am making coffee, or this cup is hot. You look outside and think, the sun is bright today. You build the thought from scratch in English.
and from that internal monologue, the sources say to take it a step further, actually talk to yourself.
Out loud, in front of a mirror, ideally. It's one of the best ways to practice because it's a completely safe space.
Why the mirror specifically?
It adds a little bit of realism. You can see yourself speaking. You can watch your mouth move. You can practice without any pressure of being misunderstood or judged.
You can just try things out.
Exactly. Mess up. Who cares? Start over. You can just summarize your day. Today I went to work. I had a meeting. Tomorrow I will go to the store. It builds muscle memory.
And to supplement that, there's the labeling trick.
Practical tip 4, yeah. Get some sticky notes and label everything. The door, the table, the refrigerator, the lamp,
And you have to say the word out loud every time you see it.
every single time. And that you build on it. You don't just see the label table and say table. You say, this is a table. The book is on the table.
So you're forcing your brain to connect the English sound directly with the object.
You're cutting out the middleman.
Yeah.
You're cutting out your native language, that combination. Your phone, your internal thoughts, self-talk, and labeling. That's how you build your own immersion zone.
Okay, so the environment is set. Now we have to tackle the biggest mistake people make in the moment, focusing way too much on grammar.
Speaking first, perfecting later. This is huge. The sources call this focus on grammar a major setback.
Because if you're worried about getting the grammar perfect,
You'll always be afraid of making a mistake.
yeah,
We're right back to the freezing problem.
we have to go back to how a child learns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kids don't study rules. They listen, they copy, they use what they hear, and their grammar just discover it.
Yeah.
It sorts itself out over time through massive amounts of use.
So instead of trying to memorize a rule for, the present continuous tense,
Just listen to and repeat common phrases. I am feeling hungry. They're going home now. You internalize these natural chunks of language. The grammar comes along for the ride.
so fluency isn't about applying rules on the fly. It's about retrieving these chunks you already know.
Yes, which makes you so much faster. And this listen and copy strategy is also the key to pronunciation.
Right. And the goal for pronunciation isn't a perfect American or British accent.
Not at all. The goal is just clarity. Can people understand you easily? That's it. And the fastest way to get there is active imitation.
So when you hear a sentence in a show or a movie, don't just hear it.
Say it out loud,
Right.
immediately, and try to copy everything, the rhythm, the tone, where the speaker puts the stress on certain words.
And there's another crucial point here. Speak slowly.
Yes, speaking fast is not fluency. It often just leads to slurred, unclear words. Deliberate, clear speech is far more impressive.
And to help with that, to self-correct, the sources give us a tool that anyone can use.
The record and compare technique. Find a short audio clip of a native speaker, record yourself saying the exact same sentence, and then listen to them back to back.
You'll hear the difference immediately.
Instantly. You'll hear the sounds you're missing, the rhythm that's a little off. It makes you your own coach. It's incredibly empowering.
And building that confidence just requires consistency. The rule is simple. Speak English for at least 15 minutes. Every single day.
To a friend, to your dog, to the mirror. It doesn't matter. Consistent, low-stakes practice is everything.
And to beat that hesitation in the moment, there's the 3-second rule.
This is a brilliant one. When you have a chance to speak or someone asks you a question, you give yourself 3 seconds. That's it.
And if you wait longer,
If you wait longer, your nervousness skyrockets and your brain defaults back to that slow, painful translation process. By forcing yourself to speak immediately, even if it's imperfect.
you're training your brain to prioritize just getting the words out.
You're breaking the freeze response. It's a habit you can build.
Okay, which brings us to the ultimate goal. Training the English brain to skip that translation step. for good.
This is the pinnacle. Eliminating that three-step slowdown, we need to create a direct highway from thought to English speech.
And again, it's a step-by-step process.
A very gentle one. You start with simple words. As you go through your day, just name objects in your mind in English. Bed, window, car. Don't say it in your native language first.
Just create that direct link.
Then you build on that, simple sentences. Internally, you just think, I'm walking to the bus stop, or the time is 10 o'clock. The key is you are building that sentence from scratch in English.
The sources put all this together into a really simple daily plan.
Yeah, a schedule that integrates everything without feeling like homework. In the morning, name everything around you.
Afternoon. Make those simple sentences in your head about what you're doing.
Evening. At least 20 minutes of passive listening. A show, music, whatever.
And at night, 5 to 10 minutes of active practice, talking to yourself, summarizing your day.
It's totally manageable.
But what about that moment of panic? When you're mid-sentence and you forget a word, that's what causes the shutdown for so many people.
And that's where the most important advice comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. Stop. Don't pause. Don't let the frustration win.
Just find another way.
Find a simpler way to say it with the words you do know. So if you forget the word lost when you're talking about your keys,
You don't just stand there silently.
no, you immediately rephrase, I don't have my keys, I don't know where they are. You've communicated the exact same idea without ever stopping. That's real fluency.
This has been incredibly actionable. So we've covered beating that core fear. We've laid out the plan to create your own immersion zone with labeling and self-talk. And we have that crucial 3-second rule.
And the big takeaway from the sources is that this is more than just a skill. English fluency opens doors, better jobs, travel, cultural connection, but most of all, it builds this incredible sense of personal confidence.
And remember that mistakes don't matter. It's the effort that matters. You're not chasing perfection, you're building a habit.
Go live the language.
And now, for your provocative closing thought. We've spent this deep dive talking about how low stakes, consistent practice like talking to yourself in the mirror is the best way to build linguistic confidence. We want you to think about where else in your life you might be waiting for perfection before you even start. What non-language skill? Maybe learning a new recipe or starting a new fitness routine. What could you start practicing for just 5 minutes a day, fully accepting that you'll make mistakes, just to build confidence in that area? Don't wait for mastery. Start that conversation with yourself today. We'll see you on the next deep dive.